I fall asleep, just hit me.
Been at work since 5:30 this morning.
All right, welcome to the September 12th meeting of the Facilities Improvement Committee. We're going to start with Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. As usual, Dan did a phenomenal timed agenda for us. So I'll let you start with that since you're...
Okay, where's
Do you
my
have it
mouse?
for you?
There's my mouse. Okay, yes, I have it up on the screen. I should probably share. Might be easier if... Is that the share screen? Present now?
So we're going to start, I can start talking while Dan does that. So we're going to start with a quick recap of election night. I unfortunately didn't get to the polls till like right before they closed because I was stuck at work. But for those who were at the polls, I mean, I think, what do we think we got?
Exactly what we got.
Yeah,
We know exactly. Go ahead and tell us, what did we get?
We have, as of today, 77 responses.
Gotcha.
As of that day, we had 74 by the end of the night.
Do we know how many people made it to the polls this year?
I was
A
told it
little
was...
over 1,200, I think.
A little over 1,200?
Can I just make one observation before?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna talk about tonight, but I assume it's no reference to any conversations or anything like that regarding people's
No results will be shared.
results.
No results will be shared until
Yeah,
it's
no,
closed.
okay.
Yep.
I think what we're gonna do is, in order to, we're not gonna really do much of the data dive until we have a sufficient
You
base.
shouldn't even make mention of it until.
Right,
it's
that was
closed.
that was the
Okay.
plan. We don't want it tainted by,
Yeah, you don't want any free,
yeah. And obviously 75 surveys is a good start, but that's not,
And
Not enough.
that's not a good sample
just to
size.
confirm and for full transparency, the only people that even have access right now are myself, the creator, Joe, who was the creator of the survey that I created electronically, and the two chairs and the two school board members. Oh, and the superintendent. That's it.
yeah, that's fine, thank you.
So the only thing is, the first question in that survey was talking about preferred methods of communication back out to the community. Do we want to talk at least what the top three were? Just so then that way as we start divvying out the survey to the rest of the time frame, we can prioritize those three methods. I mean, not show graphs or anything or show the results, but just like we can go through and say, here's the top three that was recommended from the responses that we got.
It's a great idea.
Well, I think it's a great idea, but like I said, I
It's a very small sample at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm
wouldn't
just,
do anything with.
I don't think that changes any of the ways we planned on communicating anyway.
no, it doesn't.
So, I don't
Yeah,
think there's a need to go
I
over
think we can probably successfully communicate in the way that we're doing until we tally everything for November. And then, at that point, where it will be really useful is once we start honing into options, really needing to communicate pretty more intense information at those points.
Okay.
So I think that's fine. What were, for those who manned the table, what was the reception when people were coming up? I mean, were people willing to?
They were clueless. They were clueless who we were, why we
Yeah.
were there.
That's why I put something on WhatsApp, just so people knew
Yep.
what it was there.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I echoed it and linked yours again, just to get more publicity out there.
But yeah, at the outset, it really took like, hey, and Andrew was doing a phenomenal job of, come tell us why the elementary school failed. We want to hear from you. The school board's looking for your input. So
That's actually a good way to do it, because.
It is.
Yeah, you had to, right? People weren't volunteering
Yeah.
to come up to you, you had to go
No,
talk to
no,
them.
I mean, I
Like,
shamed
hey,
a few
come
people
over
I
here for a
knew.
minute.
I was like, come over here and fill this out.
Yep.
Yeah. You don't want to be badgering people you don't.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what Joe and I did at the end of the night, right? It's like, we just said, hey, right? And then if they actually responded, then we say, hey, come help us out and fill out the survey.
Some people said no and kept walking, which is fine.
And you
So-
thank them.
Right. So we got a couple, or there was a lot of, you don't want my opinions, and then, it's like, no, actually, we do, or we also.
You really want.
Right, and we also got, or at least I got, both during, after, and around my neighborhood, we got the, what was it? Well, I don't have kids in the school, so it doesn't bother me. And it's, really? Okay. But
I will tell you from like the last effort to work through the school stuff, particularly when we went to one of the 55 plus communities, that doesn't seem to be, like, I didn't get that sentiment from a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people that don't have kids in the schools still have like a really,
Yeah.
Jen,
you know,
It's,
started notes
No, I
and
have the
then
same thing, I got
set
it,
that for-
my kids aren't in the schools anymore, but you're
Right.
still a taxpayer, we still wanna know.
Yeah.
We want everyone's opinion.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. We want everyone's opinion.
yeah, and that's what Joe and I repeated.
So that's good. So I think, you know, it was a good
It's in
start.
the meeting info folder.
We have, you know, a little ways to go, and we still have some time, but not a ton of time, so. All right, so you wanted to find out, did we get funds for supplies? I'll take responsibility for it. Peter's not here. He didn't remind me either, though, so it was the two of us both failed to ask that question at the school board. The focus ended up being much more on, well, we went through the questions with them. We talked a little bit about where there was discussion in here on like what things we, you know, people wanted, didn't want, or whatever, just so that they were aware of the context of the conversations that we had. They did ask for a question to be added at the end, which was, do you have the actual wording that they put for the question at the end? Mm-hmm. Did you get it? Did we send it to you?
I don't know, tell me what the question was.
Yes.
It was something to the effect that.
I didn't get it.
Was it added to the one that's already been out?
It was,
It was to the effect that you wanna be, have.
contacted, that's what it was, thank you, oh my god. Do you wanna be, do you want us to like, just about general, like, do you wanna be
Yeah,
updated?
It was
on
the
general-
final, it was the final yes/no question,
Would you like to see
would you like to?
future updates and communications from the school district and facilities committee? Email must be included at the beginning of the survey.
Yeah, the school board was, the school board's idea was, you know, if you want more communication from us, like, we wanna know if you actually want it, we don't wanna
Yeah, right.
bombard
It's
you.
a way to build a mailing list.
Yeah, I mean,
How else are you gonna do it?
right.
Which is also why in the beginning, when it says the email, it kind of, there's an Easter egg towards the end of the survey.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to say yes and then go all the way to back to.
Yeah. The only other like major concern they had was just timeline, because they would like to have some data leading, you know, before we get too far into budget season, because obviously, you know, that will help inform us on how to, yeah.
One, we did have an end date at the end of November, I know that was readdressed.
So they wanted it in October.
I think what I heard on the school board meeting is, I think they might have been misinformed that we didn't actually have an end date.
If I misinformed them of that, I
No, you
apologize.
didn't.
Yeah.
You did, but no one corrected it. But I thought we'd also talked in here about not presenting anything this March. We had a different timeline.
Yeah, I think the idea of if, like, I don't think we absolutely are not gonna have like a proposal for like, this is the solution to the school problem
Yep.
in March,
Yep.
like, I don't. But I think that if, the only stuff that could be something that we would even get close to is if there was any like preliminary work, like, so Carrie last year proposed, what, you know, why don't you come forward and get $2 million for the pre-bond work. So if we were to identify something like that, or if that was, just if you know if you're going in that direction, that would be the only reason why there would be any sort of like urgency toward March. But, you know, I think some of the school board would love for us to have things wrapped up by then, but I don't.
The reality is, this issue's been being talked about since, right before I was born.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're not going, then there's no way we're gonna have,
Yeah.
like, if we're at least making progress, which
Yeah.
is more than what can be said over some of them.
And
I just want us all to be on the same page.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
that ultimately what's going to drive when we have like actionable, something to take action on is we're gonna know that we're there because we're gonna gather enough information. We're gonna see come November, whatever, how much data do we actually have? Is that enough data? Like, do we feel like we have a good direction? Does that data point us in some sort of defined direction, or is it so split that we are still looking at 9 options, right?
Yep.
I think a lot of that's gonna dictate sort of what the timeline actually is.
Yeah, so I did see your emails that were coming out. I've just been slammed with work this week. But, yeah, and rehashing, so through emails, right, is the school board did say, as long as we've got data by, soon, like mid-November, that we can figure out, or a recommended action or something like that. Essentially, they just want to see data by mid-November. So they said, as long as you can get it to us, yeah, we'll run the survey through the primaries in November, in the general election from there. I'm open for, hey, look, we got you data to date for this, let's keep running the survey just to see what else is out there, right? Just to keep going, but I figured we crossed the immediate hurdle. I was in complete alignment with 5 weeks is not enough time for the survey. It's just not enough time.
Well, and the great thing about the way we're doing this in the Google form and stuff, it does all that analytics for you, right? So it's instant. As long as they're entered in there, like I took all these paper copies home and entered them all in an hour. And
That's great.
It immediately compiles all the data, gives you the percentages of each answer, tells you how many responses for each thing you had. So it's very simple.
Right.
And so it's not gonna be a long process to get it to the school board after we're done.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I wasn't worried about doing it. I did get a lot of people that I interacted with on election night, right? I got a lot of I voted no because I felt like the bond.
Can you not do that? Because you're starting to talk about people's decision on the survey.
I
He's
was
talking about what
I'm
people
talking
said
about
to
the Warren article and their opinion of the Warren article from last year.
I know, so essentially what you're doing is reporting results of what you expect the survey to tell you.
Okay.
I was gonna, I'll back up, Ron, because a question on it is, the recent Warren article for New Elementary School did not pass. What are your thoughts on why it was not approved?
Because I can bring up a whole bunch, I have people that talk to me about
Right.
why. So,
Right.
this is, the survey's trying to answer those questions, so.
Okay.
Sorry to,
No, it's all good.
okay.
Hi.
I still have all the boxes in my office and would love
I have
somebody
one.
to come get them out of my office.
Dan wanted them
We'll be
in his
deciding that
office,
later
I think.
this evening.
Great.
I have right after the election.
All right, so we'll put that as an action item. Get boxes from Jen.
It's a little tight squeeze in there, walking around with 9 boxes in my office.
Did you have more that you wanted to cover with survey outreach?
Nope.
No?
Oh, sorry, survey outreach. Yeah, no, there's a ton to go over with survey outreach. Joe sent me stuff.
Perfect.
Trying to be organized.
Much appreciated.
Oh, that is really big. I gotta find Joe's email now.
Maybe we could give away a free donut for anybody who does a survey.
I almost got to that point. On election night, I'm like, how much money I got on my wall?
Just buy 24 donuts and just stick them on our table.
Yeah, I got your free donuts.
Yeah. Ooh, free donuts? Not exactly free.
We had the box out, last night was our open house, and we had the box out on both sides, on the cafeteria side and the gym side, with copies of them. There was not one taken, and the boxes are empty.
Yeah.
And we were standing there and going, hey, don't forget to,
Yeah.
Was
Put
there
it in
enough, was there signage? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I think part of the thing that we need to be able to convey to people is, if you experience people that walked up and said, no, I don't want to, I think a lot of people think that we wanna force some option down your throat and we're trying to figure out how to do it. I think we need to get people to understand that this is truly about getting their opinions on what they wanna see for school and the town,
Yep. Joe, do you want to walk through this?
Yeah, sure. So I just took a stab at jotting down all the different places and that we could put basically advertising for this and how we would want to present it in those places. And then towards the end of it, I put we need to assign that to people, who's going to go get whatever we need for that particular location and who's going to post it there. Because obviously we need to get this going and get this stuff done.
Right.
So I was hoping we could go through this tonight and kind of put a name and an action item to each one of those places, so that it's someone's responsibility to go procure whatever we need for that location and get it posted.
And get permission from the locations?
Permit, all that, right? Like, you gotta get permission, and we can add a column at the end if it's completed or not, and if you go into, use Romano's as the first example, like, and they say, no, we don't do that, or don't wanna post anything, then we just note that, and we know we don't go back there.
Do me a favor, take off number 19. There's only 8 of us who are actually there.
I just thought literally of everything I could possibly think of.
That's right.
I figured people drive by it every day, if we stick something out front, does, I
Something
don't
else
know,
people don't know about.
peak something interesting. I see
In terms of lawn
Thank you.
signs, there's like pretty intense like rules around where you can put those, right?
It didn't used to be, but yes.
To be on your property.
Is it,
I see them everywhere, so the rules can't be that strong.
Wherever there's a Richard Salah sign, we'll put a sign.
The town administrator seems to,
The anti-signs.
yeah, so,
They took the fishing derby ones, so this will come down to.
well, we can follow up and just, I know I asked when I had to run for school board and I already can't remember, but I just didn't put up many because I was
Yeah, I
honestly
mean, there's
just
obviously
afraid of-
places we can put them, but like, we should figure what that is, and
Yeah, I've talked, because the safe places aren't safe anymore, so.
I mean, I can stick one in my front yard.
Yeah, that's.
You're good, anyone can stick one on their front yard.
I know the line of demarcation at GMS, so.
Perfect.
That one's probably, it's school-related survey.
Yeah, no, but there's almost a line where it becomes the highway,
Oh,
so,
that's a state thing, yeah.
yeah.
Not the road.
So I guess beyond that, right, is it's also gonna be, if we're gonna have collection boxes out, we should have like, when are people gonna collect them? When are they gonna enter them, or when they're gonna get them to Joe, me, or somebody who can enter them? So we just don't have a stack sitting in somebody's, car.
Right.
Going from there, so I would say that's about it.
And I tried to limit, like, so if you look at column C and D, like, right, do we need hard copies at that location? And do we need a collection box at that location? So I tried to limit that to places where they could obviously be inside, right, like the town hall, the schools, probably the library.
Yep.
You're not gonna put a collection box and hard copies at Romano's, right? Like, that just doesn't make sense. That's a place for a QR code.
Right.
The one part I couldn't answer is like the 55+ communities, right? Like, we'd have to go talk to all of them and figure out, like, do they wanna put something in, I don't know if they got clubhouses or not, do they wanna put
That-
something inside?
That may be more somewhere where we have to like physically
Oh,
see
yeah.
if they would allow it, like if they.
Yeah, you gotta go there and you gotta
us
talk to
come in
somebody.
and ask them, yeah. Yeah, cause you gotta ask them, you can't just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the majority of places, you're gonna have to go to these places and talk to somebody that's in charge and get permission and,
Right.
One of the 55+ communities uses the LMS gym as their meeting place where they come over and set up their chairs for their voting and.
It's just a matter of getting in touch with them, cause like we went and met with a group last year and they were awesome. I mean, they were really wanted to be engaged, but I think a lot of it is, it's, if they're not on wherever, at that point, everyone was getting their information from the WhatsApp page, which was, we don't post them as a school board, so.
And I was gonna say, I didn't go through this. Is there like the Facebook pages on here?
all of them.
Okay. So I think we should, someone can easily reach out to the admins of the WhatsApp page and say, hey, we're gonna do this. I don't want comments on it. Just, can we put this in the top of your, posting and signage and have it pop up a bunch of times and go from there? Who do we gotta talk to about the town website and getting it on like the front page of the town website?
John Brunel, I think,
John Brunel? Okay.
who's conveniently left.
They monitors, he'll tell you, they're always watching, right, John?
The lights start flickering.
But yeah, I mean, my thought process was like, I don't know if we wanna go through like each one of these in detail and figure them out now, or assign them to a person as a task to go figure out. And either report back via email or at our next meeting, which I forget when is, but that you either
24th?
were able to accomplish it or you weren't, and here's why, or I figured out who to talk to and I gotta go talk to that person.
I'll volunteer for GMS.
I mean, I'll take.
How about, let me take the list to Kim Kleiner so that we could figure out if we're gonna have an issue with any of these, because I don't wanna have people like get assigned something and then not be able to, like, because some of these, if you're, Litchfield Park at Sawmill Brook, right? Like, no one's gonna be there, right? You're just
Right.
gonna walk
Running
in.
rec commission though, isn't that?
Yeah, but I could, I figured she could just look at all of them and say, go to the rec commission for this,
Okay.
whatever, and then, yeah.
Should we have a table at the dump on the weekends with someone manning it who may be at the dump anyway?
That's a great idea. I mean, I think that's a great public spot that people go to all the time. And that's what I was looking for on here is dump, on like the extended hours or on the weekends. But yeah, I guess what I was gonna say is on the private, entities up top, right? Romano through like Passa Conway or something like that, is that I can take a few of those. I'm gonna be at Hidden Creek tomorrow anyway. Yes, Jen?
I think that the flyers, although quite informative, overwhelm people as they approach and see way too much reading to have to do, so they're walking away.
That's why I really liked the other Brian's idea that was here last week that said just like if we're gonna get cards made or handouts or something, just do a business card. Right? Short, sweet blurb on the front, QR code on the side, and then you can do the hyperlink on the back.
I think the thing that we have to figure out though is like, it has to be concise, but it has to have some sort of messaging that people are not like, oh, I don't wanna touch that, or like, I don't wanna get involved with that, I'm done, I'm tired
Yeah.
of the school, like whatever it is, right?
Yep.
QR codes on postcards, Dan and I can tell you, not easy to get people to take from you. But it's still
It
worth it.
depends, well, we didn't do it, a PTO did a thing last year with the parent pickup line at LMS and had information of just not telling you what to vote, but here's where voting is, here's when to get out to
Right.
vote, and the PTO did it, and it's a captive audience as you sit in the very long line of traffic at.
Much like the dump.
Yeah.
So do you want me to, what if I just take this, and I apologize, had I seen it, which you know I'm bad with my email. Had I seen it prior to coming, I would have gone just proactively, but do you want me to just take this over and, I mean, we could do the stuff that we know we can do, but
Right.
for any of the other stuff, I can go ask and
Yeah.
get pointed.
I mean, what would be the timeline then of starting to do this stuff after that? Cause like, I don't know, when's our next meeting? I don't know if we wanna wait that long to start doing some of this stuff.
Well, we could do the other stuff, but like, we can't just go put stuff like in public locations without knowing whether we can or not.
Right.
Or we could, but then they'll just take it and then they get
I think
grumpy.
that's reasonable to follow up though on email, that's something.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
that-
easily do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would agree.
and to answer your question, we have a meeting,
I think it's the 24th.
yeah, I think so.
So that's
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. Good, because I'm on travel next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wanna make sure we can keep it moving in the meantime.
Yes,
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
the stuff that we can do, like if it's the private ones and go there and talk to those people, the public ones you're talking about, you wanna take them there, but like the Facebook pages and that
So
stuff,
the-
we can get it up, we should be able to get up there.
The
as quickly as
55
possible.
pluses, that's a tough one, because, I mean, I don't have any contacts in them. You have to, someone has to have a contact there that we can like reach out to, so that would be, and that would be somewhere where we really would want to get information.
Talk to Bob.
Yeah,
Bob's not-
Bob does
Bob's
actually.
not here, so I think we should put him on.
Poor Bob.
He knows I love him.
Yeah,
Have you thought about having just a direct mail piece to each individual person in the 55 plus?
that's actually,
But then if you do 55 plus, what about everybody else in town?
well, just as a strategy for getting to that population, which is
Yeah.
harder to get to.
I like, remember, you got, the communication I think is important. Like, I don't do Facebook. I
Yep.
don't have any social media. I don't have any newspapers.
Yep.
So the only place I go to look for information is on the school website.
Yep.
It's the only place I know to go look.
Right.
So that, to me, that's the most important place to put it, or the town, as best you can. But the other thing is, we get mail, and so I got the flyer for
Now's a
the.
good time to do flying people in mail, though.
I know, right?
They just get tossed with all the other stack of mail.
Well,
All the election stuff.
yeah, remember, it gets into everybody's hand. You just do, you can do
Right.
a town mailing. And, you have to
Good.
think through, again, what's it cost, and
And what
I think
it's
that's the
gonna
best
say
thing.
and everything else, right?
How many houses are in the 55 plus? Can we just canvass them and drop it off at the houses?
I think they have pretty strict rules
you know, you can't go
about
into,
soliciting.
soliciting.
there's big signs, no soliciting.
Yeah.
Okay, yelled at as a Cub Scout during food drive in one of them, so.
So
Pretty sure this will not be,
Yeah.
can we go through these then and assign the ones we can
Yeah.
and the ones that we can't assign to Matt to find out what we need to do?
Alright. I can do like Romano's through Passaconaway.
man, I'm pretty gentleman.
Can I also, if you scroll down, I don't know how to do this, but, like, I'm thinking like we have GMS, but GMS on Saturday mornings is a completely different entity. That's almost like if we have a contact with the rec commission who basically just bring, you know, like when they come and set the soccer nets up for Saturday morning, they plop the yard sign in, and then when they clean up on Saturday afternoons, they pull it back up, and next Saturday they put it back. It's a captive audience, but it's just not GMA. I have no real control over it, but that's a lot of people.
Can we just post them there and leave them there?
The problem is that it would, I mean, you could post them there, but like when soccer's not there, it's like recess. You know, like it'd be really kind of an out of place sign.
Do we have any events coming up at the schools that we could, I mean, we just had one at Jen's school, but like, do we have any other events coming up?
We have open house at GMS next, open house on Tuesday and Thursday. There's an open house at CHS 2 weeks after that. It will still fall in there, but we have the Pumpkin Fest.
So
Kick or kick,
it probably honestly makes sense to staff those, like to.
That's what I
Oh, yeah.
think, is we should staff the open houses. I can talk to Matt Labrie from the Litchfield Youth Soccer, because my daughter's on the soccer stuff,
Yeah.
so I can talk to him about, you know, when they set up their table, can I stick a flyer and something there?
Isn't there something big with Litchfield coming on the 5th? They have, and there's some big Litchfield, Spirit of Litchfield thing going on.
Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest, or I don't
Oh,
know. maybe-
Yeah, the Pumpkin Fest, the elementary school?
No, there was, I thought, something else going on. I don't know.
I don't know. That one doesn't ring a bell.
I just remember, they're like, oh, you should set a table for scouts, so I thought. they
Oh, look,
were-
I saw
Oh,
Sawmill, but I know Sawmill has a big draw that's like out of town too.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
GMS on Saturday mornings is like, besides the grandparents that come and see, it's a
Yeah,
pretty
But
casual.
anywhere in
Litchfield.
town's gonna have the potential to have
Yeah.
out of town folks,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna hope that they
No,
ignore it.
I was just saying, like, if Sawmill's on there, then GMS on Saturday morning is an
Oh.
even better thing to.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yep. Alright,
Start back at the top and just start filling them in, go
Yeah.
one at a time.
alright, first I'm gonna do something just that way, freeze panes. Alright,
Put me down for the town hall, because I'm gonna be going there anyways.
Town hall's already done.
yeah, I think,
It is?
yeah, we already got permission, Peter already talked to.
There you go.
I dropped them
the
off
town hall.
Oh,
the
good.
day after the election, cause people had taken them and we said that there'd be a place to drop them off, so I wanted to make sure it was there. So I went over there at 8 o'clock
I can
on Wednesday and
do
dropped
the
it off.
library as well.
Okay,
Nice job.
You put my name complete.
I did it. Good job,
I can work with Robert on 55 plus, so I have a partial contact list on that.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you very much.
OMS is done.
Yeah, the schools are done. GMS is done.
Is CHS done? Nope. Oh, obviously, your office is there.
Follow up on Dan's suggestion on the, at GMS
Brian?
for Saturday mornings. You know where the bridge is? There's a white table set up over
Yep.
there.
That's the scout with the
Scouts
scouts
sell
sell
their
But
snacks.
if we set up another white table there, everybody goes through that bridge. So,
I'm gonna be there every Saturday from now until soccer's over.
So Matt and I went last
Except I'm-
year, and what we
I'm
discovered
doing
is that
Soccer with my.
we got there around 9:30 and it was too late.
Yeah, no, it's.
It's an early shift. It's an
about
early
8
shift.
o'clock, I think.
Yeah, we got there at 9:30 and we basically caught the end of the second to last, and then like we got there and we're like, no, we'll give it about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we're like, 15 minutes later, we're like, I think we're done here.
It's 7:45 is packed, right?
Yeah.
And then it is monstrous to try to get out of there.
If we're doing that, we definitely need the postcard thing,
Right.
so.
But I also think we gotta be also realistic about our capacity and our time, right? Like,
Right. course.
Yeah.
we're not a large enough group to have someone manning every event all the time.
But they listed it as
So that's why the signs come in, like, the sign can be there all the time as an unmanned thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I only need it for the first week, because it's the same people.
I was just gonna say, we also found out that when we went back like the second week, they're like, you again? Like, oh,
I mean,
you again.
we're gonna send it out through all the school stuff this weekend, so that's gonna like,
Right.
it's gonna be a click on your button in a message. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
gonna like get a lot of anyone tied to a school right
Yep.
there, who's interested in filling it out, you know.
Can we do like, is there like an email list for anyone who works for the town, like through the town administrator? Can we just blast it out that way too?
They don't usually share, lists for us to blast them out to.
I was gonna say, if we gave it to the town administrator, can you just send it out to all your staff throughout the town?
Her staff is actually pretty small, I
I was
think.
gonna say that, because it's not really a large
Three of
group.
them?
Everybody.
They already have it, it's at town hall.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so McWestern. I can do that because I'm gonna be right there essentially. All right. Matt, you're gonna talk to
I'm gonna
town
go ask
admin
about-
for all the public
Yeah.
stuff. I got that in notes.
Yeah. Not complete.
I'm happy to help post all those once we get permission.
Yeah, I'm also happy to post those as well.
Help you order them and get them all out
Corning
there.
Fields Community Garden is nixing. So, yeah, so that's still the town admin, Parker, River Access, Fire Station.
Do we have any here yet?
I don't
We're
think
here
we
right now.
Yeah, I was just say,
Yeah, there's nothing here.
Coming here?
you can just post it. I mean, even if we just put a flyer on the door and just talk to them.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and like, if we hang a flyer, I don't know if they have a bulletin board out there, I didn't really look that hard, but
Actually, there are groups that come use
More of a-
this room.
more of an outside
Like the
sign that
veterans
people
meet
see
here.
as they drive through the loop or
Right.
something like that.
Or if you wanna renew your fire permit for the year, or you can.
Well, that's all online now.
Dude, it's free if you come here. You pay if it's
Oh, is it
online.
really? Oh,
You
okay.
come here,
Yeah.
you save a few bucks.
Um,
And you get to see them. I'm sure they appreciate it.
People don't like leaving their houses these days.
all right, so who wants to talk with the fire chief?
Go.
All right, thank you, Brian. Who wants to go talk about the dump?
So the dump is kind of is tricky, right? Because there's not really anywhere to leave stuff there.
You would have to have a table.
You man it.
If someone happened to be
No,
there
you could
anyway.
like put a lawn sign at the end of the road, or
I can ask about that, but that's another thing where,
That should be part of your conversation.
yeah.
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 So
that was my thought. Like, you're gonna want to leave a sign there for all the times that we're not sitting in there at a table.
Right.
I mean, I can.
They should be thinned out with some of the candidate ones done, so.
I mean, we can also talk about doing the whole, like, get a giant poster board on the side of the building that's there. It's a big blue wall.
Well, you can talk probably about getting into the TV, like that, very pixelated.
Yeah, I don't know if the QR code would scan off of
I
that.
tried to see the Aldi one, I'm like, oh, this is
No,
so
I mean, if they'll let you put a lawn sign out by the road and then something on the door to the recycling building, I think that would be perfect at the dump, and then
They-
occasionally you man a table.
One posted at one time when they did like those recycling, like the compost bins and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, so who wants to take on the dump? Well, you're gonna do it about the
I'm gonna
lawn
ask about the
signs and
lawn
everything.
signs, yeah.
But who wants to talk to?
I think it's a conversation you have.
Yeah, you gotta find out who we gotta talk
Okay.
about.
Yeah, I can ask them like.
If you get names on these, like, other people can then take over and reach out to those people.
Well, a lot of that's, once we have the signs, once we know what we can do, just
All right.
on the ground.
Who wants to reach out on the Litchfield What's Up page?
I can do that one.
Or you want it?
Yeah, that's fine, I can reach out to,
What, Jason or?
yeah, I'll reach out to Jason
yeah.
on that, or one of the other admins.
Diane, right? Jason and Diane?
Yeah, I think so. I
think
don't
Diane's
remember. It recently changed after Peter moved.
Yeah,
What? Sorry, how do you spell your last name? P
No, J.
J-O-Z,
J-O-Z.
Z-I-T.
I-T-I-S.
All right. Litchfield page. Who wants to
We
talk
can just,
about
we
getting
can
it
just
on
email
the?
John Burnell.
Okay.
Same thing with
I can handle
I can't-
anything related to the schools, I don't mind.
Okay,
Like all these school websites and adjacent ones, you know.
There were literally a lot of Litchfield pages.
Do you wanna put on,
There's so
do you wanna
many of these.
put, do you have the PTO on here?
What's that?
No, did I miss that one? Is there a PTO page too?
Well, the PTO is just good to reach out to, because they do a lot of outreach stuff too.
I didn't know if they had their own page or not.
They have a Facebook page. Ours
Like
does.
it's like a group,
Yeah.
Facebook group.
My wife is on the GMS PTO, I should know that.
Pumpkin Fest.
I can handle that one. I assume we'll man a table at that one. Like that one, to me, seems like we need to
Yeah.
have a presence.
Is there anything else with the
Put it
PTO?
right in the middle.
There are PTO meetings. I don't know if
Smack
anybody
dab in the
wants
middle
to
of the blacktop.
pop into, we have a virtual meeting on September 16th, if anybody wanted to pop into it, that,
They might also be willing to, like, periodically blast that on their stuff too, like as reminders.
Who do we need to talk to about?
The PTO president.
They're different PTOs, right?
Yeah, 3 different.
Each school has a different PTO.
Yep.
So 3 different PTO presidents?
yep. We can put the principals on those, cause
I can take the GMS PTO.
No, I mean, normally what I'll do is I'll blast it out in the GMS Facebook, and then I'll let Erica know, and I say, can you share it? And then she'll share it from the
There you
PTO group.
Yep.
Alright. And then, so this is gonna get taken care of that way.
we're your pals.
We're your pals.
That I knew they was gonna kill them. I knew it. I was waiting. I was gonna let it slide for him, but God forbid.
Principal.
Close enough.
IPAL.
I've received applications that have it spelled that way in the cover letter, and I look no further.
Dude, I
You mean we still hire because we're so short-staffed?
I
used
I am
They're not
science
teaching
and
spelling.
technology, I do spell check.
It was spelled right, principals.
So,
They
just
all have
like
a
kind of a related question to this, just like like a procedural thing. As like things come up, and I'm thinking obviously with a school lens on, like for example, at the end of the month is homecoming and a whole bunch of different stuff, different people probably coming in the buildings. How do we want to go about like alerting the group that, hey, here's this opportunity to do outreach, you know? Like how do we want to tackle that? Like I'll be at homecoming stuff, I don't mind being the person there, you know what I'm saying? But just like I don't want anyone caught off guard that we set up a table to get information and stuff like that.
So
Yeah.
my one thought on that is I think we have a lot of school related outreach.
Yeah.
And do we need to overkill that, right? Like, and spend our time there? Like, I think we, like, between your emails that go out, his email, her emails, like, there's plenty of communication to the broader school groups. I think we need to focus more of our manual efforts on the non-school stuff. That's just my opinion.
I don't think it hurts to do both, to be honest with you, because I think
How much time
sometimes
you got?
Well, I mean, I think it all depends on availability, right?
Yeah,
So
but I'm saying if push came to shove, choosing availability, I would prioritize the
absolutely.
non-school related
yeah,
things.
absolutely.
Can I add, while we're on this, just so that we remember, and maybe now's the good time, because poor Joe was running around with his head cut off this week. We should assign a point person for the November elections now.
Another thing I forgot from the list.
I mean, like, the November elections aren't there, we kept it open, I think we should do it now, assign a point person so that they have the next 70 days to like
Prep for that.
prep that and build up the infrastructure for that one day.
Be
Because
ready.
poor Joe was like, I need another hour, I need one more person,
Yep.
I could do that unless Joe wants to do it again.
By all means, I'm happy to hand it off.
I do not have a tent though. to bring.
Brian, to answer your
I
question,
have
I
all
think
the
that
material
just
again.
an email to the group is probably like,
I'll
hey, we
bring a
got this coming
propane
up
patio
this
heater.
week.
There you go.
That'd be great.
Yeah, my neighbor has one. I'll grab a couple 40-pound tanks or 20-pound tanks for it.
Sweet, thank you.
Alright, so
Alright, so I have that down here in the survey outreach in my notes. Alright, so we got people assigned. Matt, you're gonna take care of all of this.
Look at
right.
the, like, is it LRBL, the basketball league? Is that another one to do for the indoor, like the men's league or the?
Is that under the guise of rec? That's what I was just I was saying before, if we can get a contact with the rec department, they could then kind of tell us here, like, what's their event calendar coming up in the next, and then we can. I know is Peter Ames still on rec?
Trixie Gardner?
I believe there's a calendar on their webpage
Yeah.
that says when everything's.
Oh, is it Trixie?
Yeah.
I don't mind doing the rec commission,
Okay.
because I work with them with
Pickleball? Yeah.
But I would
Oh, that's what we gotta
Like
put
to have
on the
you-
pickleball courts.
Yeah, right,
You know what I mean?
pickleball.
respond after the town says,
Oh, yeah.
do this and that. Then if we get a feedback, go ahead and reach out, I'm
Yeah.
happy to do that.
Put one right by the gate to
Ron?
the pickleball court.
Okay,
Ron, did I spell your last name correctly?
OBLENIS, yes.
Lenis?
Next try.
What we should do is we should get Ron a shirt with a QR code for when he's playing pickleball.
There you go.
And we can like have a competition for who can actually catch him with their phone.
I mean, and just in general, like it's, I'm gonna post the link on my Facebook and just on the WhatsApp page. I'm gonna tell all my neighbors, here's a link, text it to them, just fill it out, and go from there. So I think that will help.
Not that it's on the agenda, but do we need to talk about uniform messaging? If all these different places are gonna have it, like, we gotta talk about
I
what.
think so.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you want on the, that's a good question.
Yeah,
What do you
what
want?
do you want on the lawn
like,
signs? What do you want
That's
on someone's
what-
Facebook page or the town's, like,
I think
How are we gonna do
we
that?
have to get something that sort of conveys, like, I absolutely can't read that from here.
This is just what I put out on the boxes. It is a sign that just says Facilities Improvement Committee survey because your thoughts matter. Please only submit one survey per registered voter in Litchfield, one per person using paper form or scan virtual link below.
That's good.
So it's quick.
And it has both the
And it has the
QR
QR code and the
and the
link.
hyper.
Yeah, I mean, the only messaging that I'm thinking would be like useful, something to the effect of like help chart the course for where we're going, right? Like, I think if
yeah,
People-
I'm not a
if
great
people-
marketer, so I have no
if
idea.
people feel like if people feel like we're asking because they're gonna help figure out what we do next, I think that they're more likely to stop and
Right.
talk. Cause, we asked the question of like, why do you think the school failed? But like, if that was the whole survey, they'd be like, I don't care, it already failed. But, we have to some people don't realize we have to do something at some point, figure out a solution, so. I think the majority of people,
Jen, can you email me or email us that flyer?
It's a Canva.
Can you like print to PDF
Yeah.
and then send it out and then,
You
we,
download it as a JPEG too, then you can post it straight on Facebook.
yeah, you can do JPEG PDF. My thought was that if we wanted to add a little bit of messaging to that of help us, like, cause you have your voice matters or something to that effect, but if we wanna add, the help us chart the next steps or chart the course, then, we can at least send it out and see what that would look like.
I kinda am a Canva
Wizard.
addict. I'll say addict, for lack of a better term. He's laughing at me. But, I can definitely put something together like with a map on it and stuff on it. If you want me to get a little creative, it takes me like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you wanna design all the different material? We need flyers, we need lawn signs, we need
With support,
Facebook
yes.
posts.
I don't wanna put any spin on it. I tried to be very
Yeah.
neutral
Yeah.
and
no,
I think you design it and we can we
That's
get,
great.
send it around via email for approval?
yeah, I think that works, right? And I don't think we need to do like 50 different ones, just one, but add in, what Matt was talking about, and then I think we can do it via email to get it approved, throughout the committee.
And you're talking like a Facebook post, right? Like we need you're not gonna put the same thing on a lawn sign, right? That's gonna be short and sweet, like,
the thing about lawn signs is that you have to have it has to be limited because you have to
only
be
got
able
so
to
much
read
space.
it when you're driving
Yeah.
by it.
Yes,
I was gonna say like GMS survey and then just the QR code,
The only thing with lawn signs is like if you can make them somehow bright. that would be-
orange.
So,
Because
yes,
then they won't think it's just like a political sign.
so yes, I was thinking for like Facebook or even our flyers, right?
Right.
Instead of
Town webpage.
the town webpage, the giant, the paragraphs that was in the flyers that we had at election night or something, right? Update it with just this. That
Yeah.
way, if you see it on paper via, excluding lawn signs or stuff like that, it's all the same thing. And go from there. So I like that idea.
And in terms of messaging too, just because it's a facilities improvement community survey, so like, I don't think it should be the GMS survey, because it just goes beyond the, like, all the school facilities.
I think too, you put GMS survey, PR village, I don't know anybody in schools.
So that's, yeah, so I'm thinking if we use like the facilities improvement survey, like,
Right.
stick on the words facilities and improvement as opposed to just specifically.
Yeah.
Well,
Because while it is a big part about like, why did it fail and how do we move forward, there are other questions about, alignment and,
Right.
distribution,
Yeah.
all those things,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
communication.
Sounds good. All right. So are we good on?
We should get that, like, to get this going, like, I would like to send something out in my message Sunday
Yeah.
with that language, so, can people just be attentive to their emails tomorrow, so we can get kind of rolling on that?
Are you talking to me directly?
Yes. Matt's direction.
I will text him.
So I feel like that too.
He gets-
I feel like.
He gets, yeah, he knows to just text me and then it goes well.
I mean, I'll be on the golf course, but I will text him. All right. So are we good with this, Joe, from your perspective?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for.
Yes.
And
the-
And if anybody has any other ideas of things we need to add here as they think about it, let's.
If you want
Now
to
I'll
do
document it.
Wyndham Youth Soccer, I can take care of that, because that's where I will be, Wyndham Youth Soccer.
We have a great idea for you.
So
I'm sorry, I just pressed something on my phone.
Denise, I know you said that you listened to the school board last meeting.
Yeah.
And you said that there was some questions and stuff that came out, so not only the timeline, but you thought that they had, that during that meeting, school board offered assistance if needed?
I know one of the school board members offered to help tally and we all know Andrew was there as well.
Yep.
So it sounds like probably most of them.
Okay.
Two of them were here, two of them offered.
If we needed help, we could ask them. I don't.
Yeah, so I was just thinking to like help man the open houses.
Yeah, I think when we have events, we
Right.
can certainly.
Reach out, just
Yeah.
because to Joe's point, right, everybody's time is limited, everybody's schedule is hectic, and we all have families and stuff too. Like, I would love to say that I can man, a table at youth soccer, but I know I just can't.
You also need to watch the kids' game.
Yeah. I gotta do
Tuesday,
that too.
Thursday, GMS 6 to 7. We could put you in I call it the vendor court, along with the PTO, all the scouts, the
Tuesday, so next week, Tuesday, Thursday?
superintendent. Yeah.
Next week, Tuesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
Alright,
If it's a nice night, it kind of
It'll
feels like
be
a farmer's
outside.
market. There's just like tables.
yeah.
all outside.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Alright, I'll be 600 miles away.
Okay, so not you.
Yeah,
I-
no, not me.
I think someone I know is going to have to be there anyway,
Yeah.
so I won't have anything to do that evening.
Call it a date, Jeff.
Oh, no, I won't. I know better than that.
I can help out on Thursday too with that.
Yeah, I can definitely
have to
help
go
out
to
at one or both of those.
Do I? No. I've
So,
seen it. I know what's going
Dan,
on.
are you able to make sure that we get a table set up for both of those? If you talk to Dave or Joe and make sure that we get a table?
Yeah, I mean we're setting up tables anyway, so I'll just add one more to the.
Yeah, no, perfect.
If this is going to be an annoying question, but
I've talked to some groups today.
it won't be annoying to you because it's not going to impact you. If you have an event at any of your respective schools, would you just like put it in the calendar and send me a calendar invite for it? The only way I can manage town of Litchfield stuff is if it's on my calendar. I can't.
I'm gonna invite you to everything.
Oh God.
Do not know what you just asked for.
Boy, did you just open up Pandora's box.
I'm gonna start. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
once
start
you're
a
on
new.
that mailing list, you're stuck.
I was gonna say I'm gonna start a new email address for this.
I can just reject the things that I'm not going to.
Yeah. All right. So we got open houses. One is CHS open house. 2 weeks later.
October 2nd, don't quote me 100%, first week of October, somewhere in there.
One thing on when we're in person and we're having hard copies, we should use the Word
October 3rd.
document version, because using the Google Doc cuts off
Yeah, sorry.
the last option of the first question.
Oh,
So we should make sure we use the Word document when you print any of these out.
If you just put one to a PDF and then kind of lock it.
Same thing, right? Like, because it's a
Yeah, I-
scroll thing,
locking things down.
Just don't
right?
mention
You
it.
can see that there's a scroll bar, right? You needed to go further and it didn't all fit on the screen,
Ah,
so it just cuts that one option off.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
No,
I'll send you the Word doc, so when you ignore it, you can use the Word doc instead.
so Brian, can you help organize to make sure that we can get a table going for CHS open house?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
And you said that was
October 3rd.
October 3rd.
Did you just do that just now? Mm-hmm. That is an addiction.
What, your Canva?
She's got a problem.
You do.
What else do you want it to say?
What I
I
noticed,
I can't see what it says.
It says help Litchfield chart our course for educating our children.
Like it.
We'll have to make it a little more like specific to facilities, but
Yeah,
I
do you have
can,
facilities improvement committee somewhere?
Underneath.
Yeah.
what I noticed when I went to CHS open house, it's not very well attended.
See, just, they're gonna try something different to attract more people to come this year, that's just why it's a little bit later. I don't know, I don't wanna speak too much out, it's Jake's vision, but it's gonna be more of like a student exhibition. His hope is it's more of a student exhibition thing, so that's why it's pushed back a little bit, so they have some work to show, you know? But,
No, that's-
it's a work in
okay.
progress, so hopefully it'll be more attended.
And mine will be a madhouse.
Usually
Both
is.
nights.
It was fantastic.
all right, so should we move on to the inputs?
Yes. So Joe brought up a good question. How many inputs from the same address are we going to accept?
My question to you is who's actually going to notice it's the same address?
Google does it, cause
It
it
tells you.
sorts it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so they-
get a
Google-
bar graph that says like 6 people at this address.
Yep.
I have 4 voters in my house.
Yeah, I mean, I think any registered voter in town is fair game.
Right.
I believe we should just let the results come in, and if
if we
there's
see
one
any
that seems
anomalies.
off,
Right.
then we can actually verify it with the voter roll. You know, if we get 8 in one address, we could be like, we can contact the town clerk and say, do 8 voters live at that address? And they go, no, 4 do. You know, then but we may have ones where that could actually be verifiable. So as opposed to setting a rule ahead of time, I think we should just let it run, and then if there's an anomaly, we should check and verify there.
I have access to the voter rolls, so if you'd like, you know, rather than going to the town clerk, I could help out. on
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
All right. We went through the remaining school open houses, tables and support. Jen's working on the flyer, which is excellent. Matt's gonna do all of that stuff. All right. I'm gonna jump around a little bit here, because I know, well, I guess, Dan, is there anything else that we wanted to bring up about the information subcommittee?
Information subcommittee, if you've gone to the shared drive, we've cleaned it up at least at the surface level. Now the next thing is to actually get the subfolders within the folders and just organize that. Next steps I will need the bigger community for, which is that shared drive is for the committee's use, and then making a differentiate with that information of what is given to like the general public as opposed to what's committee use. And then the other task that the information subcommittee that is going to take on, but it will develop as this comes, is that first off, I mean, there are 2 questions on the survey that obviously the information subcommittee will probably take the lead on, because it's gonna be that, which way do you prefer to be communicated with?
Yep.
And then the other thing is that we had talked about, and as the work evolves, that the information subcommittee would kind of be the keeper of that timeline, that end goal timeline, that where today our end goal is here, and then filling it in towards whether it be what is presented in March of 25, March of 26, you know, so that long time on. So that was basically it, but we spent a lot of time cleaning up that shared drive, and while we haven't cleaned the whole house, we've put the clutter in all the closets. Let's just put it that way. So the
And
house
toy
seems
boxes.
clean.
A heck of a way to do it.
And toy boxes.
And toy boxes, yeah.
I know, that's the way that one down.
I just went from there to college.
I
Or-
just dropped both of those flyers in the folder for FIC. I did it in the top level, so it'll be easy to find right underneath right now. You can feel free to clean up the clutter I just added.
So many things. I like it.
Yeah. But we definitely need to, oh, sorry, go ahead, Ron.
It needs to say, take our survey.
I was thinking the same thing,
Okay,
or
I-
something like that, like,
Put it
please,
right on
please
top.
help me to
And
help
I
us
think,
with this survey.
and I do think
Or something.
we do have to tie it to the, like, buildings, because I think this is somewhere where if you don't have kids in the schools, you may, like, if you think it's strictly about like chart the course for educating our children, like this could be about curriculum.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So, and someone who doesn't have kids in the school probably may not have as much to say about that.
Also, can we put a hyperlink in there too? Because if we're going to use this as a Facebook post, nothing drives me more crazy than a QR code that I'm reading on my phone and can't do anything about.
Yep.
It's amazing they haven't solved
Like,
that.
why are people sharing QR codes on Facebook? I'm obviously
do we
checking
wanna-
this on my phone.
I like your idea, Matt, of changing it more about the actual facilities than necessarily about educating. Because I think you're right, people will think it's about curriculum or something.
Right.
you don't think facilities improvement tells you that?
No.
No,
I don't think I'll read that far.
Litchfield chart,
What about just for the
Course
future of
first.
our facilities?
yeah, for school facilities.
Okay, hang on, let me get the click here for.
Now we're gonna get to
survey.
see it in action here.
No, you're not,
Oh,
because it's a
no.
PDF. I'm fixing it here. And
I
I'll
wanna
send
see
it
the
again.
wizardry.
She's got an issue, I know I do, I'm sorry.
While she's doing that, should we, because we might actually get out of here early today, which would be a
Keep going.
lovely surprise for all involved.
See what you said again, help Litchfield chart our
Wait,
future of
now
our
actually bring that back up
facilities.
to the, I'd say chart the course for the future of our facilities.
About school facilities.
can I suggest maybe a little even simpler than that, just say, take our survey regarding Litchfield's school buildings.
Anyone else?
What if I take Ron's and merge it, so if I say help Litchfield chart our course for the future of our school buildings?
Take our
Click here
survey.
for survey.
Like it.
Sounds
Please-
good.
Please take our survey.
Take our
Thank
survey.
you, please.
I'm not gonna be puddle-eyed about this. I'm gonna knock on my neighbor's door until they actually take it.
Even though Ron didn't say it, I heard a curse word. I said, even though you didn't say it, I heard a curse word.
About what, I don't,
Take our survey.
oh. Please,
All right. So when Jen sends that back out or drops it in, I'll take a look at it. We pull it back up.
And are we thinking that will be what we can put on Facebook as well as make the signs up? That's like, is that gonna be the common
That,
logo?
yeah,
Did you pull up the other one?
no, I did not pull up the other one. I can't find my mouse.
it's right there.
That one.
That came out really good, Jen.
Yeah, I like that one too. I really like that
I
one.
think that's good for the flyer, that's, you know,
Mailer.
Can we,
mailer or the fly, like, I envision like at the pizza place, right? Like they're gonna
Yep.
have a little stand with this
Yeah,
on it, right?
exactly.
Like, that
can
works
we
well
take the
for
school
them.
board part off of it?
Isn't this a school board committee? It's a
I'd
community
rather us
committee?
be called the facilities improvement committee and not necessarily
But how's it tied to the school then? Because it could be including the fire station.
Well, you said school on there, didn't you?
Yeah, I would get rid of the, we don't think we need the paragraph, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, I don't know if we could put something else there to tie it to the schools, but I don't know if.
Get rid of
I
the
plan to
logo
it
and
in
just put
board,
schools,
but-
school facilities improvement committee?
Yeah, something like that, I don't know.
I'd go back to what we were working on the other one, because, again, Facilities Improvement Committee, what's that mean?
That's why I think we need to add school or something in there.
Right, the building, you need the word building in there somewhere.
We are the Facilities Improvement Committee. Do I put where Litchfield School Board is over there? What do you want your schools to look like? Something like that?
What does everybody else think? I think that works.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright?
Take a look at it.
It's gonna be a little wordy though.
Do we need this middle paragraph?
I would just take out the bottom part, the one person either using paper or virtual.
Yeah.
Just
do
submit
the
one survey
sentence.
per registered voter. I think that's all you need there.
That's what I was thinking too.
And you're not gonna need surveys collected here because they're not collecting them, right? We want a QR code
Yep.
one and a link one, right?
Yeah, so if this becomes the one for like the stands or the quick flyer, and then the other one is the bigger yard sign one, right? Like that's
Which
what
one's the
we're thinking.
Facebook post one?
The other one too, right?
What's that?
The one she had before.
Is
The
it on
orange
Facebook
one? Yeah, I was thinking that would be it, and you can just do it as a JPEG.
Okay.
And then which one do you want for the yard signs?
I think the orange one for the yards.
Yeah.
Do you want us to start like ordering them?
Well,
Like a-
don't we need to get approval from the school
Yeah,
board
I
for the
guess, sure,
supplies?
right.
So then, as soon as we can get approval, then yes, please.
So, yeah, so like next, we have a meeting next Wednesday, hopefully approved then. Thursday, is everyone okay? You know, we'll put these around so people get one last look at it, but then we can just get going on ordering them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Take care
that-
of it from a school standpoint.
Should I leave the scan using virtual link below?
I'd have to see it, I don't know what you're talking about.
In the voting one. I just took out the,
This.
Yeah, I'd leave that.
Could leave that, yeah.
Actually, on the one that we're looking at, what if you just, you use the logo, right? Shouldn't that be Litchfield School District?
well, it's not the school district taking the survey, this is a school board committee, this is,
Okay.
that's why I put school board up there, I put the district logo, but.
I'm all right with removing it. And just-
No offense, I just wanna try
I
and
take no offense to that.
distance this a little bit.
Yeah, you know, when you tell people you're on the school board, you have to either dot or like, or they are happy to see you, you just don't know.
Right.
We have nice meetings now, what are you talking about? They're
All right.
very pleasant if anyone's attended.
Is there any updates on on-site insight?
We're doing a public hearing.
Okay.
Before the
We have
board
to do
meeting,
a,
Cause of withdrawals
we have to
from-
do a public hearing in order to figure out whether we can pay for that.
Question for you. Can you send out the scope of work so we can see it? And my question is, I assume that they're gonna look at the 1930s building as well.
Yeah, I think I can do that. I mean, I might not have it right away, like, they've just given me quotes and stuff like that. Like a general quote, and I can ask for a more detailed, like, scope of it all, does that work? Once we set everything up?
What are they doing for this amount of money?
Yeah, I can get that.
And I know the school board had like some direction that they wanted to like
Yeah.
add to for like, make sure that they do these things too, so we know.
So is the hearing next meeting?
Yeah,
Have you posted the hearing?
yep.
Where is it posted?
Union Leader's the big one.
Is it at the dump?
I don't think it's at the dump, no.
Should be on the
Put it
side.
at the dump.
Should be at the sign, should be out
Is it
here.
on the
So,
webpage?
yeah, no.
Is it on the webpage?
We talked to Continental about using their signs at the top front and end of town. There's a lot of people who don't traffic these areas. So in the past, we've reached out to Small Tube to use their sign. We've reached out to Continental and had signs put up throughout the top and bottom of like Albuquerque.
Yeah, I've seen those.
The dump with their brand new, the recycling center, with their new screen there. Definitely out here, a hearing, like, otherwise we're gonna have the perception that continues in town that we had another hearing and nobody knew about it. So make sure that you, as much as possible, we get that out there.
It needs to be on the website. I've looked for it and I haven't seen it yet.
I'll check with Renee, get it up there.
Again, that's where I go to your website to look for anything regarding the school board.
I don't maintain the website.
No.
You're looking at me, I wouldn't even know how to do
We're
that.
the only school board.
I will take that, yeah.
But that's, that's where I go. And if
That's where
not-
updates should be. Makes sense.
Weren't they starting like a new newsletter for the town or something?
I've seen it. It's great.
So, something in there?
Put that on the list. I forgot that on the list. The newsletter that comes out.
Who puts it out?
Huh? I don't remember, I just remember.
I don't know exactly who puts it out, but I have seen this newsletter. There's a couple of them.
Is it a town newsletter? Is it a school newsletter?
Town.
The town newsletter.
Yeah, the town Facebook page posts it.
What is this thing do?
I don't know if it's called the Mirror. I don't remember exactly what it is. I have to go find it again.
I just know that there's a lot of people who used to rely on the HLN, and now that it's not around, they're not, I know, they're not in the 55 plus communities, they're not tied to the schools. And they don't know unless you get word of mouth. And so, err on the side of anywhere possible.
So who's taking on the town newsletter?
Well, I'll ask the town administrator when I go.
It gets posted on the Town of Litchfield page.
Okay.
Right, but it'll be the same people who
Yeah.
take care of communication for the rest of the town
It
facilities.
should actually, and it's not even listed in the calendar yet.
Probably, it's in the newsletter. Oh no, this is an old one,
It's not on
sorry.
the school board's calendar.
Okay, I'll check tomorrow morning, sorry.
Last time I looked at it.
Jen, you said that they were updated? Or one of them was?
One is so far, the next one's about to be.
That one.
What do you?
With the hyperlink.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like it.
And the intention is this is the flyer.
Yes, this is the flyer that we would put in public areas and locations
I
and
made it
stuff.
easier for you. The link,
I shortened it.
bit.ly/Litchfield FIC.
Listen.
But we can go with
Explain to you
we can
all.
go with your CEPHEW capital VOH
I shortened
capital
it,
H
believe it or
9.
not.
It's like a special code.
Send me the,
So besides the link, do we need to vote on this, or is this just everybody agrees here and now that this is what we're gonna do for the flyer?
I'm gonna re-download the orange one too,
Okay,
but I'm fixing the bit.ly, but not
yeah.
yet.
Cause I'm good with this if everybody else is.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Objection?
Alright, Jen's gonna fix the orange one as well. Do.
Just to clarify, the orange one that we have, help Litchfield chart our course for the future of our school buildings. Is that what we wanted to say?
I like it. Yeah, sounds right.
And Facilities Improvement Committee, please take the survey with the link and then the QR code with the hyperlink.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you send this to me?
I don't know. We got through stuff quicker than I was expecting.
Listen, I have a
Slow
question.
down if you want.
What?
I have a question if we're opening into new stuff.
Yeah, new business.
I still, we just gonna be on site. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench. It's $31,000. Don't you need solicit for this?
It's a good question. I mean,
It's according to your policy, you need to.
I know, when you read the policy and you're going for professional services like this, you know, I think it's can go back and forth on how that decision is. So we talked about it a little bit at the board meeting last week. We felt comfortable as a board and SAU going forward with this format.
Yeah, it's not, I think the thing that's hard with stuff like this is it's not like there's a ton of options to procure these things unless you're like hiring people that are from other parts of the country.
And is that an FIC decision or a school board decision?
School board.
Well, the only reason I bring it up, property management firms do things like this, and, other engineering firms do it, so.
Yeah, but this company does schools though. So,
Just throwing it out there.
I mean, I feel comfortable, it's okay, you know. This isn't people we're gonna get other work from. It's not like an architecture firm that could potentially be bidding on a project that they're making any sort of judgment on the building. They come in and do this professional service for schools, and then they get out, move on.
Okay, so that's why it's important to send out the proposal and have us look at it and see if there's justification within that you can support.
What do you mean by that?
You need to, you're gonna send out their proposal, right, to us to look at?
Yeah.
And the school board as well.
Yeah,
So in there needs to be what you just said documented so that there is.
that they're not gonna be bidding on other work for us?
Yeah, so,
And things like that.
so typically for solicited services, right, and solicitations, if you're gonna go with a sole source, typically you, at least in my business, right, is you need to provide justification as to why you're going sole source.
Same.
Versus doing an RFP, RFQ solicitation. I don't know if that's a requirement of the school board to do that, if that's in your policies.
I mean, either way, it's not, even if it's not in our policies, I
I
think.
don't think it will be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Well, just the reason I bring it up is, we go back to the policy discussion we had previously, and which I don't think's resolved yet, but the point being is, you have policies, and you need to follow them.
right. Well, and I guess the difference is, does this qualify as needing to go out for solicitation if we have justification for a sole source?
And all I'm saying is, if there is rationalization, and you can find it that it fits within the policy, that needs to be part of what you present.
Yeah, agreed. I think we're saying the same thing, just in two different ways. Okay. So,
I brought it up tonight instead of bringing it up at the hearing.
So, appreciate it.
sounds good. So, anything else before moving on to new business?
No.
Can I just ask for one more set of eyes on the posters to make sure, because I can't tell you how many times I've done this quickly like that and found a typo, so please look closely.
You can get 11 sets of eyes if you'd like.
That's what I'm asking for, please, and thank
Before
you.
you do that, can I just go back, Brian, if you would, hopefully we'll be in there, but if it's not clear, confirm that they're including looking at the 1930s building.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All
It was
right.
based off square footage, right?
Yeah.
And I think that square footage included.
Yeah.
649, so I think,
Orange one isn't ready yet, but it's coming.
okay. I am the wrong person to look for typos.
It doesn't say principal, don't worry. It looks good to me.
Same.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah, that Bitly is much better.
Can you just click the link to make sure that it clicks to the right place?
Beautiful.
When you did it, as you sat here and took notes.
He was I
Delegated notes.
passed the notes off to him. And the orange one is there now and updated.
It goes to the survey.
Yeah.
Even if you click the QR code, it will go to the survey.
Well, the first thing needs to be in the same font as down below.
It is, it's just smaller. I copied the Facilities Improvement Committee font exactly and just shrunk it up top.
Can we change the to R? Please take our survey.
Yep.
A little more personal.
I like it. I would say even if we do business cards, you can just do this.
Agreed.
Okay.
Do we,
So storefront flyers are gonna be the red, white, and blue one, and
Gonna be yard signs, Facebook.
this is yard signs Facebook. The other one is the doorway signs.
Yep, I think.
when we still feel good about just going for a straight 500, right? $500 that I was supposed to ask for last time that I forgot.
Well, you mentioned that you guys have a account you order stuff from. Like, what do yard signs typically go for through your account? Like when I looked online at
I'll have to
Staples,
look.
it was like $500 for 30 of them.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I don't know off the top of my head.
But there's places online you can get them cheaper, but it depends on how long it takes you to get them.
I have a cheap one. Hang on.
Just want to make sure we're asking for the right number.
Right.
And that's really your biggest cost, right? All these flyers and stuff, you're gonna print it. Anything that's gonna be inside, you can easily print.
Well, I don't know, do we wanna, are we gonna be printing color at the schools?
I haven't been.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would think that we would wanna just do that.
I did, but
Yeah, but I don't know how much we wanna,
You're gonna print out thousands of them.
I mean, the flyers, I think that's one thing, like printing those out in color, because there'll be a handful of those, but the actual surveys are
Yeah.
all black and white. Yeah.
Can you print a couple poster board type signs for the tables we're going to have?
That,
we would have
that's,
to get them printed.
yeah,
They don't
that's
have
what
a
I
big
was
printer like
thinking,
that.
is that we would have to do like Staples or something.
And those aren't that expensive. Those are like
No.
$12.
Right, yeah, no, that's fine, that's easy,
Yeah.
right? But that would be included in that $500 stuff.
Right.
Your lawn signs are your biggest expense.
Yep.
what size yard signs do you want? 18 by 24, 5 by 18, 9 by 12, 9 by
What's a
24,
normal
12 by
yard sign?
18,
What are we allowed to put on?
Rich, what size are yours?
18 by 12,
No, the 24,
18 by
20.
24?
I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
If we're gonna stand out, we should do at least that size.
Okay.
It's amazing how small signs look.
$3.32 a piece.
Okay.
How many?
How many had to order to get that price?
Multicolor.
How much was that?
That's
$3.
pretty cheap.
What are those printed on?
Called signs on the cheap, the corrugated plastic,
Really?
How many had to order to get that price?
50.
It's a good
Any-
number.
And
Does that
multicolored, you
include the
said?
state?
Yes.
Yeah, does that include the metal?
Yeah.
stakes that
H
go on them?
stands?
I will continue my research, hang on please. Jeez,
All right, so while,
Ryan.
while that's happening, Joe, you had new business?
I just had a question of what do I do with all these? I am okay being temporary storage, but I don't want to be permanent storage of completed hard copies.
I could take them and secure them.
Yeah, because I think they need to be secured. Or kept until survey
I'll
ends,
explain the
right?
division.
That
If it
works?
falls out of order, is it a big deal?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
I assume you marked them as entered, so you know which ones have been.
I didn't know, we probably should do that, it's a good point.
You need to,
I'll take a red Sharpie.
yeah,
Yeah, and either do a cross or you just do a dog ear corner with a mark or something on it. The only thing is, Dan, can we close, the school dude form that you had out for faculty and staff?
Yep.
I haven't seen new responses
Nope,
on
I'll
that
close it.
recently, so I don't know if we can just
Did
close
you get
that
good
off.
responses?
You got 34.
34? That's good.
Responses. They were all open-ended questions, so I'm gonna have to paraphrase and bucketize the responses as to what it is. Haven't gotten that far yet.
Did that go to that went to all 3 schools?
oh, question. You're
Close.
talking about somebody writes something up, right? Comments?
For the school dude?
For the school dude.
Oh, I'm sorry,
yeah.
I thought you did. Were you able to type what's in what people did? Okay,
Yep.
I entered word for word, everything people put on there.
okay.
Well done.
That's impressive.
Joe took the paper copy and
So, some of the responses were funny.
I mean, it didn't take very long. I mean, what did I do? I did like 35 of them in a little over an hour.
And I didn't know it either, so I shut down my computer that night after polling was closed, and it was 33, and the next morning I opened it up, it was 70. I'm like, what happened overnight?
It works.
I sent you an email, like, did you enter those?
All right,
What's the
so,
name?
No, I was like, wow, we got
You
a
want-
flurry overnight.
The answers to what we have so
Yeah.
far, so it was a little more, but with the, metal
things.
things and double-sided, so the same poster on both sides of the thing. Total for 50 of $371.50.
That's really not that bad.
It's very good. How many colors?
All of the ones that are in the, it's exactly the picture on there.
Okay.
That's
I
wild.
have trouble seeing it, but
How long does
It's
it
the,
take to
it's
get
the
them?
exact one that was in the orange. That's awesome.
that's a very good price.
That is a very good price.
Is it something we can get quickly, or is there a 2-week lead time, 3 weeks?
Let me continue my cart and I'll
Does
tell
that
you.
include shipping?
Yes.
all right. I don't have anything else.
I do.
Okay.
Since I keep the attendance,
Yes, sir.
and it has been requested that we cull the email list, but that would require culling the membership. Now, we have rules, we have statements in our bylaws that give voting rights.
Correct.
But what we don't have is, we don't have any rules that kind of remove membership. And we kind of had an open call at the beginning, and anyone who submitted kind of joined the committee. Now, since then, a lot have dropped off. And we don't have any set rule for removing people off.
Well, we can vote on one right now.
We could vote on, yeah, but I will point out, like, for instance, and it happened like so Joe wasn't here all summer. He is now back an active member. But if there's a hard, fast rule, like,
Well, I think
like
like-
Brian Carney was also back last week, he's not here this week, like, so, is it a number of absences, or is it if we haven't seen you in 6, like, once we have something, I need a trigger to say, I'm gonna stop marking them present or absent, and we're gonna take them off the email list. But we just don't have,
Do we
Use
need to do that?
absences.
If we have the rule about voting, does that matter? Like, the more people on that email list that may volunteer to help out, I don't think it hurts us.
Yeah, so I've gotten a couple of requests
If they request to be taken off, by all
to be
means, take
taken
them off.
off, right.
Yeah.
But I don't know, do we wanna set up like an actual, like, group list within the drive?
I did so.
You did so? Or
Well,
just,
no, I said I did, and then I said, oh. I don't know if I did it like proper. I created an email list in my thing. It named it FIC, but I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
available to everyone else.
I did it for
we don't have a
myself.
list, sir.
But I think we have the rule about voting, right? And if
Right.
you wanna request to come off the list, then they come off the list, but other than that, I would leave them on there, right? What does it hurt?
Agreed, right, so and I think I'm the one who brought it up the last meeting, right, because I got a couple requests to take people off, but I think if we're gonna do a committee-wide, like, email distribution of, here's the minutes and here's the notes, or the surveys, right, go hand this stuff out and
Or
come to
access
that
to the
list.
drive.
Or access to the drive or something, I think having an email list is a good idea, that we have a running list, and instead of just hit reply all, then you get like 57 quoted messages, like we have been doing.
One thing to do is actually take the list as it currently exists and send out an email to everybody. Do you want to continue as a member?
Yep,
Yes or no? And if they say no, then drop them off. They resign.
Or I was gonna say, even easier, is you make it active response too, so they actually have to say, like,
Yeah, just.
Yeah,
just
you
say
have to
it, you
respond.
know,
and if we don't hear from you within this, you will be removed from
Yeah,
the list.
just do it that way.
I like
Alright.
that.
Make that
Odds
rules
are being
map
already
then.
being filtered somewhere.
right, so I did get responses today from both Bob Leary and Ray Peoples that they could not make it today.
We also heard during the meeting from,
Maryland.
Was it
Marilyn Wade, thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw it pop up. Go ahead, Jen.
So I have, the grand total order summary with standard shipping, is $445.80. Standard shipping would have it here by 9/26. If you wanna spend another $15, you can get it rush by 9/25. And if you wanna really get it in 2 to 3 days, It's a mere $334 additional dollars.
Oh, that's it. Wow. Isn't that
It's like
nice?
twice the price.
I mean, I can do some further research. I mean, I think there's cheaper places to get them online than that. I think I saw Vista
you-
Prints is like,
You'll be surprised when you start adding them double-sided.
And then the
Multicolor.
stands, multicolors.
I mean, if people are cool with that, like, that's the whole budget though, like, it doesn't leave us anything.
Well, the budget, that's why I asked the amount, right?
Yeah.
Like, if
Right.
we need, I mean, that's,
Do we need $1,000 versus 500 just to cover this?
or
Well,
seven.
do we need 50 signs? What's the price of
That's,
we do
that's,
25?
oh, well,
I mean, my rough estimate, based off my previous sheet, was 30.
30 signs?
30
Yeah.
bucks.
Other
Having
thing
run
we can look
campaigns
at
before,
is-
50 signs is actually kind of hard to distribute.
If you want just one-sided, I bet you the price goes down.
Yeah, but
That's
one-sided
Yeah.
for, you can't do one-sided.
There's only a
Back
few
to back.
places one side works.
Yeah.
Like the
need
end of
to-
the end of the roads.
Okay, I just was,
The end of
But at least we know that,
Yeah.
at least we know that number and we
Sit
can,
back to back.
I
Go
saved
from
the
there.
site, I didn't order anything. It's there.
Okay.
We should make a decision soon though, because every day.
yeah, I hear you.
another day.
Yeah, so do we want to make a decision as to what we want the new budget to be? Because I would like to have them here in like 3 or 4 days.
Besides?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, I can tell you that Andrew Cutter is gonna have a heart attack if we say we're paying $300 for expedited shipping.
I would agree.
Cause I also have like a visceral reaction to that number.
Yeah, but I guess it just cuts down the availability of getting them out there by like a month.
No, 926 is 2
I
weeks.
used a local guy for my signs, and it was within 2 or 3 days.
Alpha Graphics and Natural will do it really fast as well if you wanna go there, but they're more expensive. I think we got them for like $8 a sign when we did the COVID signs.
But how many do we need though?
Geez, John?
Yeah.
Is it
That's
Anthony
almost
Third?
$10
No.
Right.
So it's the same thing, really.
He's-
Yep.
What was the site you used?
Signs on the cheap.
Not so on the cheap then.
Well, it is on the cheap.
Signs on the cheap
here.
unless you want them fast.
Yeah. John,
Yeah,
I've-
alright.
Signs on the cheap but slow.
So, are we good with 500 bucks? Do we wanna do 750? If we wanted to get them slightly faster by a day?
I mean, I would rather, if we think that we need a little bit of a buffer, I'd rather ask for the buffer instead of having to go back to the school board.
Right,
You know,
that's-
it's, we have to wait for meetings and stuff like that. And then if we don't use it, I mean, I think that luckily in this group, we have people that will hold us accountable for what we spend, so.
Why don't we ask for up to 1,000?
Yeah, that was my thinking, is why don't we just.
I don't think we'll have to touch that, but yeah, I think it's at least then I
Not
don't
to
have to.
exceed.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and NTE
Cool.
What are the other expenses besides the signs?
posters, like big table posters.
Okay.
If we wanted to get like an all-weather poster to put it on the side of the building of the recycling center, cause Carrie, I love the idea, but that sign is not gonna have the resolution for you to actually scan a QR code off of that.
Literally, that sign kills me.
She's just looking for some reason to use it.
Oh, well, I figured we spent a small fortune
She
for
wants
it.
to justify being there.
Yeah, thank you
You
much.
can get a small, decent size plastic sign with grommets for $39.99.
Do we have a
And they
way
will
of
turn it in.
putting a
Amazon
sign
Prime
on the
Time.
side of GMS, since GMS is on Charles Bancroft Highway?
Put on the fence.
A sign, like,
Like on the building?
Plastic sign like a,
if you had the grommets, like we have the book fair banner, like we just
Is it facing
zip
the-
tie onto the fence.
Is it facing the road?
Or
Oh, it's on the, it's on the
It's
fence.
facing the road, but it's more facing the
Field.
livestock farm.
Can we do
Yeah,
it
but
on the
people drive,
fence?
but people drive by though.
Well, I was thinking, even if we do it in like the loop where the cars stack up for pickup and drop off, right, or somehow that way.
So like Scarecrow Jamboree, we have it must be, I'd say an 8-foot long banner. We literally just zip tied along the long fence. It just says Scarecrow Jamboree. It was probably
Yeah,
40
'cause
years ago, the first one.
I've gotten the all-weather stuff from like Staples in a few days, and I mean, it didn't kill me. So, I don't think it should be too bad to get a couple of
So we
those.
can look at that within our.
Right, yep,
Well, couldn't you buy signs from the same company and save on shipping?
Yeah, fence at the
Buy them all at the
recycling
same
center,
time.
maybe.
Do you go there a lot?
I love the recycling center. I
So-
haven't been recently, I need to try.
Yeah, I was thinking that, you know, if Staples or somebody wasn't gonna kill us and we wanted it a little bit sooner than 2 weeks
faster.
out from now, try to get the big posters for the tables, for the open houses, and then place else we wanna set up and.
They're not outdoor quality, but the banners that I printed for our veterans display.
Yep.
It was 2 hours at Staples. I
Yeah,
know that because we made a mistake and I need to fix it real quick.
yeah,
Still
so,
veterans, Rob?
No, I forgot the S on core for Marines, and you don't mess with Marines.
no.
You spell that correctly.
So that's why I think the not to exceed $1,000 is a decent idea. Alright, I'm good,
I think that's good.
so,
So in terms of attendance, you're gonna send out, respond to remain included,
yeah,
and we'll go from there.
yeah.
How do we get a listserv?
Maybe if it's a school board thing, it's probably through the school board.
I mean, it's easy to make one if everyone had a Litchfield SD email, but outside, when it's outside your organization, it gets a little wonky.
Yeah.
I mean, I even if it's just like an Excel list, right, then you can just go down, just copy the whole column and paste it into the two.
Actually, what I can do is, so when that's corrected, what I'll do is, since everyone has access to it, on the ongoing attendance sheet, I'll add a column next to the name that includes everyone's email.
Yep.
Once they're active, and then anyone who wants to can just
Drop off.
copy, send.
Okay.
So you said New England Small Tube has a sign,
They have a
I don't
big,
drive over
they have a big sign in the front way. Sorry, guys.
But it's just, it's
But you can put sometimes there's some things like town events, they'll put like a little sign up in there.
do
If
we
you
know?
reach out to them.
It's not a digital sign.
No, it's not, it's
It- it-
like,
you put in a.
Yeah, analog sign.
Like,
You can put bit.ly
Yeah.
/ Litchfield FIC.
What's that?
You can put that's why, that shortened address, you could put bit.ly / Litchfield FIC.
Why isn't it working?
you can take a picture of the link and
Hey.
the passenger can take a picture of the link.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna put that on the letterboard sign at GMS starting tomorrow.
I have a question.
Bit.ly /
Was
Litchfield
Mel's
FIC.
on the list?
Nope.
So I intentionally left Mel's off.
Because it's spooky world season.
Well, there's just so.
A lot of out of town.
There's way more out of town there than anywhere else. Right? You're not getting a ton of people from Manchester coming to Romano's, but you are getting a ton of people going to Mel's. And I think we could lose some integrity with putting it at a place like Mel's.
Good logic.
They advertise on Boston radio.
Yeah. That was my only reason for leaving Mel's off the list intentionally.
I
Okay.
get one at Licks too.
So I just want to clarify here, anything that's not Matt talking to the town administrator has the go-ahead to get out there using the documents that Jen just produced.
Okay.
Correct.
Correct.
Is this dropped in the drive?
I will drop it in the drive. I downloaded it from the email. I will drop it in the drive tonight. With
If you can
all of
sign
this.
off that you've posted your thing, if it's your assignment, that'd be great, so we have the tracking that it's done.
Matt's complete.
We'll drop it in the drive right now while it's an active thing. Don't put it in a subfolder. I think you just leave it on the landing page.
Yeah, top level. Along with these flyers.
Yeah.
And go from there. Anybody else have anything before we wrap up?
I think we're good to wrap up. Good.
Make a motion with to adjourn.
Just,
you go.
can I go back to your agenda, you've got, the parking lot items. We're also gonna, revisit my memo of the 8th regarding recommendations for GMS.
Okay, I'll add that to my notes to update the parking lot.
Can I make one request that the agenda come out a little ahead of time?
I can try.
Particularly if we're trying to, if we're targeting something that people need to
Yep.
spend some time looking at.
Yeah, I can certainly try.
Okay.
So can I.
I was gonna save you that one.
I appreciate that. We had a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Go ahead.
That works. Thank you, everybody. This concludes tonight's meeting.
Oh, when's the next meeting?
9:24.